YouTube, welcome back to the channel, man. So Warzone got a massive update today. As you guys know, all of the Modern Warfare 3 weapons were added into Warzone today, so that's really going to change up the meta of Warzone. So I figured today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the top 5 loadouts that you should be using in Warzone after the update. So starting this video off, I'm going to give you guys arguably the best gun in Warzone after the update, and that is going to be the MW3 MCW. This is basically the ACR from the OG Modern Warfare 2. This gun is an absolute beam, so I highly recommend you guys using this in Warzone because arguably it is going to be the best assault rifle now. So first off, you want to put a muzzle on this gun, and we're going to look for something that's going to bring down the recoil for us. And my go-to is going to be this T4 LR Saber compensator. It gives you a ton of horizontal recoil control and even more gun kick control to make this thing an absolute beam in Warzone. And coming up next on this MCW, we're going to go with a barrel, and personally I'm going with the 16.5 long barrel. This gives you bullet velocity and range, more aiming idle stability, and some firing aim stability. I highly recommend this barrel to bring down the recoil and make this MCW an absolute laser. And next, we are going to want to put an optic on this gun. Now, optic always comes down to personal preference, but my favorite optic right now for Modern Warfare 3 guns is going to be this MK3 reflector. Now, since we are going to be playing Warzone, we might want to put the aim OP on this thing, or we could even go with the SZ recharge. Again, optic always comes down to your preference, but for me, I'm going to be rocking this MK3 reflector. Now, coming up next on this ACR, we're going to put on an ammunition type, and that is going to be the high grain rounds. This has been dominating Modern Warfare 3. This actually gives you more bullet velocity and damage range, and it overall makes the gun kill about 1 to 2 bullets faster when you have the high grain on. So definitely throw that on for Warzone. Now, to finish off this ACR, we are going to go with the 40 round mag. You could try the 60, but I have a feeling it is going to make it just way too slow. That's why I've always just gone with the 40. And as you guys know, MW3 does not have tuning like Modern Warfare 2 does, so you don't have to tune any of these attachments. Just make sure you have everything set up just like this. So to give you guys a little bit of perspective for this ACR, I'm in the firing range now with the exact loadout, and all of these bots have on 3 plates. As you guys can see, this thing is absolutely deleting, has basically no recoil, and I believe this is going to be one of the best guns for you to use in Warzone now. And let's go ahead and jump into the second loadout. So coming in at the number 2 spot, I got you guys with another amazing assault rifle, the HOLGER 5.56. This honestly might take the number 1 spot in Warzone over the ACR potentially. Both of them are very, very good, so I'm going to go ahead and build you guys a HOLGER setup that will absolutely dominate. So just like the ACR, we want to put a muzzle on that is going to give us some recoil control and recoil steadiness. So again, I'm going to go with the T4 LR Saber compensator. I think this is just going to be a go-to muzzle in the new Warzone update. It gives you a ton of horizontal recoil control and more gun kick control, just making this thing an absolute laser. Coming over to barrel, we want something that's going to give us more damage range, so we're going to go with this Creo 6 match. It gives you bullet velocity and range and even more recoil and gun kick control, so I would highly recommend. And just like the ACR or the MCW, we're going to put an optic on this gun. Again, always comes down to preference with optics, but for this gun, I believe I'm going to go more for an aim OP or something like the SC recharge, because I believe the HOLGER is more for longer range and the ACR or MCW is going to be more for those medium range gunfights. Now, after that, we are going to go to the magazine. Go ahead, put on the 40 round mag, like I said, so you don't have to reload all the time. And for the ammunition, again, we're going to go with the high grain rounds to give you bullet velocity and damage range and get you kills just a little bit faster. And just like I did with the MCW, we're now in the firing range with the exact HOLGER setup. I have 3 plates on all of these dummies, and as you guys can see, man, this HOLGER is absolutely deleting, super controllable recoil, and I believe this is going to be one of the best guns in Warzone now. Coming up next at the number 3 spot, I got you guys with arguably the best SMG in Warzone after today's update, the Modern Warfare 3 Striker. This is basically the UMP 45 from the OG Modern Warfare 2. This thing absolutely deletes, has amazing movement speed and very low recoil. So starting this gun off, we're going to put a muzzle on. Like always, we want to bring down the recoil with a muzzle. And what we're going to go with here is the Bruin Pendulum stock. It's going to give you vertical and horizontal recoil control and make this thing an absolute laser. And coming up next, we're going to put an underbarrel on this gun, and we're going to go with the DR6 hand stop. It's going to give you aim walking speed, aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed, and just overall really bring up the mobility of this striker. So coming up next, we're going to put on the high grain rounds. Just like our other loadouts, the high grain is just basically a necessity in Warzone right now. It's going to kill people in 1 to 2 bullets faster than without, so I highly recommend high grain. And as you guys can see here, it gives you no enemy skulls, so on Warzone you're not going to get marked when you kill somebody, and you're going to get bullet velocity and damage range, so I highly recommend high grain. And next up, we're going to put a rear grip on this striker, and that's going to be the tack grip for even more tack stance spread and more sprint to fire speed. Like I said, just upping the mobility and overall speed of the striker a ton. And lastly, you want to put a stock on this striker, and that's going to be the Lockman MK2 stock for the movement and even more sprint speed. At this point, this striker is going to be absolutely insane. So now I'm in firing range with the exact striker build that I just gave you guys, and as you can see, man, the movement speed on this gun is pretty fast, and the sprint to fire speed is very quick as well. And even for bots with 3 plates, it still kills pretty fast for an SMG at range. So I would highly recommend the striker as one of your loadouts to definitely be using. Now, coming up at the number 4 spot, I got you guys with another amazing SMG that arguably has the best movement speed in the game right now, the Rival 9 from Modern Warfare 3. This is a must-have in Warzone after today's update. This thing is so much fun to use. And starting it off, we're going to put on a barrel, and that's going to be this Rival C clear shot barrel. As you guys can see, man, it gives you aiming idle stability, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil control. This is a must-have on the Rival 9. Coming up next, we want to put on a muzzle, and as you guys know, we want a muzzle that's going to bring down our recoil, whether that be horizontal, vertical, or both. So for the Rival 9, I'm going to recommend that you guys go with this L4R flash hider muzzle. It's going to give you muzzle flash, concealment, recoil control, and gun kick control, and make this Rival 9 an absolute beam. Next up on this Rival 9, you're going to go with an underbarrel, and that underbarrel is going to be the SL skeletal vertical grip. This is an amazing attachment on the Rival 9. It gives you more aim down sight speed, more vertical recoil control, more gun kick control, and more sprint to fire speed. This is a must-have on the Rival 9. We're then going to put a stock on the Rival 9, and that's going to be the EXF close quarter stock to give you even more gun kick control and recoil control. At this point, the Rival 9 is an absolute laser. And then lastly, we're going to finish this off with a rear grip, and that's going to be the Rival Vice assault grip for even more gun kick control, firing aim stability, and recoil control. At this point, this gun literally does not move. Now here's a look at the Rival 9 in the firing range. As you guys can see, very good movement speed, very quick ADS speed, and it honestly melts very fast and has no recoil at all. So I would definitely recommend you guys rock this for one of your SMGs going into the new Warzone update. So for the 5th and final loadout of today's video, man, I got you guys with a one-shot sniper build in Warzone. You heard me right. After today's update, you can one-shot with snipers again. So I'm going to build you guys my go-to sniper for the current meta, and that is going to be the KATT-AMR from Modern Warfare 3. This gun is very fun to use, and like I said, man, you can one-shot with it in Warzone now. So starting this off, we're going to go with a laser, and we're going to put on the FSS OV laser for aiming stability, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed. You then want to put a stock on the KATT-AMR, and that's going to be the tactical stock pad for even more aim down sight speed. We want to make this gun as fast as possible while also keeping it powerful so that we can still hit our one shot. We then want to go ahead and put a bolt on the KATT. We're going to put on the quick bolt for the rechambering speed so that we can get our shots off faster. And then next up, make sure you guys put a rear grip on the KATT, which is going to be the phantom grip for even more sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed, just to make this gun a lot faster. And lastly, we're going to put an underbarrel on the KATT-AMR, and that's going to be the cornerstone bipod. Now this is actually bugged in the game right now. This actually gives you faster ADS speed, but it does not pop up on the menu. So this is kind of a little trick right now. If you put on this bipod, you will get faster ADS speed, even though it does not show it on stats. Trust me, go ahead and put that on. So that is going to be the final loadout of today's video. As always, if you guys did enjoy, man, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.